Over 23 million California voters will begin receiving their ballots today to vote in the state's special election. A breakdown of what brought on the fight over the redrawing of congressional maps and the changes we could see across the state if Proposition 50 passes.
The Trump administration is hitting another legal roadblock, where the commander-in-chief is now siphoning troops from after a judge temporarily blocked his order to station soldiers from the Golden State on the streets of Portland, Oregon.
As a partial government shutdown moves into its second week, there seems to be no clear end in sight.
The reason the government is closed is because Chuck Schumer and 43 of his Democrat colleagues in the Senate have decided now to vote multiple times to keep the government closed.
They're not negotiating. Remember, the Speaker of the House has kept the House out for the last 2 weeks. They're not sitting down.
What strategy Republicans are now using to force a Senate vote on the funding bill that the Republican-controlled House already passed.
You're watching Fox 26, and now, great day.
Happy Monday. We begin this hour with a live look at the silhouette of El Capitan with a slight view of Half Dome there in Yosemite National Park. It looks kind of like grayscale, right? The moon is currently in its waxing gibbous face. I'm hoping I said that right.
We're going to have a full moon tonight.
Yeah, this is going to help illuminate the early morning sky.
Yeah.
Well,
beautiful.
Yeah, the first supermoon of the year is peaking tonight at 11:47 p.m., meaning that the moon will appear slightly larger and brighter. That may, I don't know if that helps with this image right here, Justin. Definitely correct me if I'm wrong. Well, the difference in size for tonight's moon will be subtle but noticeable, and according to NASA, which estimates the moon will be 14% bigger and 30% brighter than the faintest moon of the year. A lot of information to get your morning going right there.
It is a lot, but we hope to get your Monday morning going on the right note. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Liz Gonzalez.
I'm Carl Cook. Kim Stevens is on assignment.
And I'm Justin Willis. Thank you for joining us. I'll have more on the full moon later on. This is the harvest moon is what they call it, and I'm feeling like a Neil Young song.
I was going to say, cue the Neil Young song. There we go.
Exactly. But it looks beautiful out there. We have clear skies, so it's lighting everything up tonight. So we'll have more on that later on. But in the meantime, we have seasonal temperatures to start the week off. Plenty of sunshine, too. So let's get your day planner here going and show you what's up. Right now, it's only 60 degrees outside. Winds are calm. Dew points at 51. And we got clear skies out there for you today. The rest of the day, check it out. At 10 a.m., it's going to be 70. At noon, 78. 5 o'clock, 86 degrees. Yeah, maybe just a tad above normal there, but light winds too. So a pretty nice start to the week for us here. But coming up next, your next weather maker. Well, we have a chance of rain, and it might be coming from a couple of different directions. I'll explain here in just a few.
Well, happening today, ballots for a November special election will start hitting mailboxes across the state. The fight over congressional maps started far from California. In fact, it started over in Texas. Earlier this year, Republican lawmakers there, backed by President Trump, pushed through new district lines aimed at giving the GOP more seats in Congress. That move set off alarms across several Democratic states, including right here in California. By spring, state lawmakers here began floating their own response, arguing that if Republicans could redraw maps to strengthen their hand, Democratic states should have the option to do the same. In July, the California legislature voted to place Proposition 50 in the November ballot. If approved, it would temporarily set aside California's independently drawn congressional maps and allow lawmakers to replace these with new boundaries. Supporters say it's about fairness and leveling the national playing field. Critics argue it's a political power grab that breaks the promise of nonpartisan redistricting and leaves local governments struggling to be heard.
If Prop 50 passes, those maps split Clovis into 3 districts. The biggest problem with that, again, is diluting our voice. If we have 3 representatives, that makes it far more difficult to get a cohesive message out that specifies what Clovis needs. Because now you have people who have just part of Clovis, so they don't have to listen to the entirety. And they have all kinds of other diverse communities that they're listening to, rather than having that singular message and focus for Clovis and what our needs are carried by one member of Congress.
We have got to recognize the cards that have been dealt. And we have got to meet fire with fire. We're doing this in reaction to a president of the United States that called a sitting governor of the state of Texas and said, find me 5 seats.
The map, by the way, was drawn by Democratic redistricting expert Paul Mitchell and was formally submitted to the legislature by the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. Supporters say the map is more compact than the previous one, with fewer city and county splits, and the majority of districts changed by less than 10%. 5 Republican-held seats are targeted. Let's look at those districts and how they look today. District 1 is currently held by Representative Doug LaMalfa. This one is in the northern part of the state, and you can see there that is the way it looks right now. District 3 currently held by Representative Kevin Kiley. This is right here along the eastern edge of California, going all the way down to the Kern County line. District 22, which is of note here in the Central Valley, is currently held by Representative David Valadao. That one includes parts of Tulare, Kings, and Kern counties. And District 41, which is currently held by Representative Ken Calvert. That one is mostly based along the Inland Empire and into the LA Basin. And District 48, currently held by Representative Darrell Issa. That one includes from the San Diego, Mexico border there up into the Orange County area. Later this morning, we're going to break down just how those proposed map splits splits up local areas.
All right, it's 5:05, and let's check out what's going on with our forecast here. So we're fairly seasonable today. Might be above normal here in a couple of places here, so not a whole lot going on. But later this week, we're expecting some big changes, and it's coming from a couple of different directions. First, we're going to take it up north here, where we have a low-pressure system that is brewing up in the Gulf of Alaska. That's going to drop in by the end of the week. We also have, to the south, Tropical Storm Priscilla working its way up the Mexico coastline here, and that will reach us by the end of the week here. Both of those are going to bring chances of precip in different forms to the state here. Cooler rain up in the north, and then maybe some tropical moisture to the south. So let's track that for you here with your futurecast here. This is all going to reach us by Friday. Well, you kind of see there. It's all going to spin. This tropical moisture here coming from the south and really going over into Nevada, Utah, Arizona. Going to cause some problems over there. Expecting some rain in the desert regions because of that one. For us, what we're going to be looking at is some of the cooler air and cooler moisture coming in from the Gulf of Alaska. It's going to be impacting our Sierra Nevada mountains by Friday afternoon here. And you can kind of see by Saturday afternoon, we have a chance of snow up in those higher elevations. We're getting that cooler system from the north there, and that's going to maintain up top and probably bring us maybe an inch of snow in those higher elevations. So like Tioga Pass, maybe 9,000 foot and above. As far as the valley floor, not expecting any rain here at the moment. However, things change. We have 2 different storms working together, a couple of low pressure systems coming together, and that can create a lot of instability. So we could see some changes because of that. Again, that's just later this week, but that's it. We should be clear after that. As far as your temperatures to start the week off, well, we're nice and sunny until that both of those systems get here. We're at 88 today, 90 tomorrow, and 86 on Wednesday. Yeah, these are above normal here, and we have 50s and 60s for your overnight lows and, well, light winds going as well. Next, we're going to get a look at your highs and lows for today across the rest of the San Joaquin Valley.
Time is now 5:07. The CHP now investigating a crash that killed a California National Guard member from Clovis. It happened just after 9 yesterday morning east of Van Fleet and Toll House Road. The CHP says a 27-year-old man driving a Lexus sedan had been heading eastbound when his car veered onto the side of the road. The car then collided with the tree before overturning. We're told the man died at the scene. Alcohol not believed to be a factor in this crash. Investigators say that he was scheduled to report for duty at the Cal Fire Station on Toll House, and we didn't show up. Fellow members began a search that led to the discovery of the crash site. And another investigation underway after a crash involved a Fresno County Sheriff's deputy and another driver in West Fresno. Fresno police say this happened just before 10:30 yesterday morning near Cornelia and Ashland. They say the deputy was headed south on Cornelia responding to a call when a woman pulled out of her driveway, and the deputy hit the driver's side of the woman's car. Both were taken to an area hospital. Investigators say the deputy has since been released, but the woman is still being treated. At this time, investigators say no fault has been determined. And over in the South Valley, the search continues for a suspect in a stabbing at a late-night party Saturday night. This happened before 11 in the area of Avenue 96 and Tarabella Avenue in Porterville. When deputies arrived, they learned 2 men had gotten into an argument when one of them stabbed the other in the stomach. The suspect took off. We're told the victim was flown to an area hospital. If you have any information on this, call the Tulare County Sheriff's Office. California National Guard troops are in limbo this morning after a judge temporarily blocked their deployment to Oregon, Portland, Oregon, while the Trump administration is now defending the order. And a live look now at the Bay Bridge on this Monday morning for that busy morning commute already underway. It is 5:09 and 59 degrees there right now. You can find new headlines and the weather forecast on your screen all morning long, even through the commercial break.
Hi, I'm Monty Torres with Fox 26 News on YouTube. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel, where we have loads of great content for you to choose from. And while you're here, why not click on the subscribe button right here? That way you can stay in touch with all the latest breaking news, everything news related within the Central Valley. And thank you for watching.